Hello BBN. Kentucky has now secured a visit from point guard Rippy Jr. should Pope bring the point guard to the Wildcats. Let's analyze it, but first, subscribe to the channel. I just read the news that Rippy Jr., a 4-star point guard and considered the 17th best recruit in the class of 2026 by On3, will secure an official visit to the program between August 1st and 3rd. And this is a clear sign that the transition led by Pope is making a big difference. Pope has been building bridges with young talent who align with the identity he wants to implement. Rippy, a versatile player, has been attracting attention in recent months for his explosive performance and advanced vision. He emerges as one of the most promising names among the next generation of point guards, and his decision to include Kentucky on his official visit list is a direct reflection of the program's reputation after John Calipari's departure. In his own words, Rippy highlighted the impact Pope had on his perception of the Wildcats' future. Mark Pope, I think he's a top-notch coach. He's a point guard coach. He's simply a basketball genius, the young player stated. This statement not only extols Pope's technical qualities, but also reinforces the idea that the coach has a special gift for developing players like our recruit. The relationship between Rippy and the Kentucky's coaching staff appears to be being nurtured strategically and genuinely. Although Pope is the main point of contact, Rippy revealed that all the assistants are engaged in communication, demonstrating a collective effort to win over the young talent. Furthermore, the coaching staff has been sending out videos of last season's team, highlighting the fast-paced, dynamic style of play the Wildcats intend to maintain. This approach not only demonstrates transparency, but also respect for the type of player Rippy represents, someone who thrives on fast paces, quick transitions, and vertical attacks. It's no surprise that the point guard expressed enthusiasm about the possibility of fitting his style into the Kentucky system. Another aspect worth noting is the fact that Rippy has already demonstrated an affinity with the program by personally attending a game against Ohio State at Madison Square Garden during the 2024-25 season. This type of prior involvement indicates that Kentucky already held a special place in his mind even before formal talks began. Now, with the scholarship offer following the NBPA Top 100 camp, where Rippy, impressed with his performance, the mutual interest becomes even more concrete. But furthermore, it's worth noting that Rippy isn't limiting his options to Kentucky alone. With official visits scheduled for North Carolina, Texas, Alabama, and Indiana, he is carefully evaluating his options. However, the fact that Kentucky is on the list and, more importantly, is one of the first stops on his agenda is a positive sign for the Wildcats. Competition for his services will be fierce, but the program's successful track record combined with the new energy brought by Pope could be the deciding factor. While Rippy has made it clear that there is no exact timetable for a final commitment, he plans to release a list of his top universities in the coming weeks. His goal is to complete all official visits by Thanksgiving, with a potential decision expected in January. For Kentucky, this means the next few months will be crucial in solidifying its position as the ideal destination for the young point guard. The fast, adaptable style of play that the Wildcats promise to offer certainly aligns with Rippy's characteristics, while the program's competitive environment and winning culture could be decisive factors in convincing him that Lexington is the right place for him. Rippy Jr.'s arrival on Kentucky's radar is a perfect example of how the program continues to evolve under Mark Pope's leadership. Hey, do we have a candidate to replace Bree? Let's analyze. Williams, the forward who excelled in his freshman season at Tulane, arrives at Kentucky with a resume that speaks for itself, averaging 9.3 points, 4.5 rebounds, and 1.3 assists per game. He demonstrated remarkable efficiency, converting 48.5% of his field goals and 41.2% of his three-point attempts, with nearly 2 long-range baskets per game. These numbers not only establish him as one of the top shooters on the roster, but also demonstrate why he was the first player to commit to Kentucky in the transfer portal on March 28. Inspired by the success of Kobe Bree, who shined in Pope's offensive system, Williams saw Lexington as the perfect opportunity to elevate his game. I like Kobe Bree. He was a good shooter, and I really like how he fit into the style of play here. So, I watched him a lot before coming here, the player revealed, demonstrating that his arrival wasn't just an impulsive decision, but a calculated step to integrate himself into a system that values elite shooters. Williams' confidence is contagious. In a recent interview, he didn't hesitate to state that he's ready to lead the team in shooting competitions, including the highly anticipated Big Blue Madness, an event that promises to ignite the fans with displays of skill. I think I'm going to win every shooting competition we have, he declared, pointing to teammate Trent Noah as his main rival. The mention of Noah is no coincidence. The young point guard has already been praised by other teammates, such as John Lowe, who called him one of the best shooters he's ever seen. Williams, however, goes further and highlights the depth of the roster, emphasizing that shooting ability isn't limited to small forwards or point guards. Everyone can really shoot. Mo Diobit can really shoot, but the numbers might say something. different, he said, suggesting that even the team's centers have the potential to surprise. This versatility is a reflection of Mark Pope's system, which prioritizes movement, ball sharing, and high-efficiency shooting, characteristics that transformed Kentucky into an offensive machine last season. Despite his enthusiasm, Williams is still adapting to Pope's style of play, known for its intensity and demanding nature. The coach, who has stood out for his ability to get the best out of his players, has already given his new protege a clear message. I had a few times in practice where I couldn't shoot because I kind of isolated the ball. He attacked my... I won't say what it was, but he told me to be confident and shoot the ball. That's why he brought me here, Williams said. This interaction reveals not only Pope's trust in the player, but also his direct approach, which seeks to mold athletes to play with freedom and decisiveness within his system. For Williams, this feedback is further encouragement to dedicate himself even more to practice, where he has already established a rigorous improvement routine, striving to surpass his own three-point shooting tally each session. Williams' arrival and the development of other talents, such as Trent, Noah, and Jalen Lowe, signal that Kentucky is building something special for next season. Concerns about shooting ability, which could haunt fans after the departure of key players like Bree, appear to be unfounded. I would say no one needs to worry about shooting because we work hard every day, even when the cameras aren't around, Williams assured. This mentality, combined with Pope's offensive system, which combines tactical discipline with creative freedom, suggests that Kentucky will not only maintain its identity as a team ideal for long-range shooting, but may also surprise with a new generation of shooters ready to go. The news that Trey Mitchell, one of the most recognizable names in Kentucky basketball's recent rotation, will be donning the colors of West Virginia in the TBT tournament instead of lining up with Kentucky alumni team La Familia, certainly brings a mix of surprise and disappointment to Lexington fans. However, looking at Mitchell's trajectory and the context behind this decision, it's clear that this choice reflects something larger about his career and the bonds he formed throughout his college years. Trey Mitchell is a player who, from the beginning of his college basketball journey, has demonstrated a versatile and resilient talent. He began his career at the University of Massachusetts UMass, where he quickly established himself as one of the team's core players, boasting impressive averages and a mature playing style for his age. After 2 years with the Minutemen, he decided to explore new horizons and transferred to Texas, where he spent 1 season before ending his college eligibility at West Virginia. The move to the Mountaineers was significant, as it was there that he had the opportunity to play in a more competitive setting within the Big 12 Conference. POSTING, consistent numbers of 11.7 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 1.8 assists per game. This connection to Morgantown appears to have been a determining factor in his decision to represent West Virginia in the TBT. Mitchell's decision to play for West Virginia's alumni team instead of La Familia may seem odd at first glance, especially considering the historical and emotional weight Kentucky holds in the lives of many players who have played there. However, it's important to remember that his 1 season in Lexington was only a portion of his academic and athletic journey. During his time with the Wildcats, Mitchell maintained solid numbers: 10.7 points, 7.2 rebounds, 2.6 assists, and 1.0 blocks per game, but perhaps he didn't develop the deep connection many players feel with the blue and white program. This doesn't diminish his contribution or talent in any way, but it does suggest that his experiences before and after Kentucky left more lasting marks on his identity as a player. Furthermore, this year's West Virginia roster is filled with well-known and talented names, including athletes like Gerard West, Jermaine Haley Jr., Wesley Harris, and others who share stories and memories with Mitchell from their time in Morgantown. This sense of belonging and camaraderie may have been a deciding factor in his choice. Playing alongside former teammates and under the same uniform allows him to relive memorable moments from his career while building new competitive memories. For a player like Mitchell, who has tried for different programs in 5 years, finding a group where he truly feels at home is invaluable. On the other hand, Mitchell's absence from the La Familia squad is a blow to Kentucky fans, especially since the team already boasts a number of iconic former players, such as Andrew and Aaron Harrison, Willie Cauley-Stein, Doran Lamb, DeAndre Liggins, and Archie Goodwin. These names are synonymous with the program's glory, and Mitchell's presence could have added even more weight to the project. Furthermore, the inclusion of popular figures off the court, such as Jesser, the content creator, with millions of YouTube subscribers, and Karim Cantor, Ins Cantor's brother, promises to make the La Familia squad one of the most interesting and supported in the tournament. Even so, the group will remain strong and competitive, albeit without the impact Mitchell could have provided, and for West Virginia fans, Mitchell's presence on the roster is an extra reason to celebrate and cheer enthusiastically during the TBT. Looking at the bigger picture, it's clear that college basketball transcends geographic and temporal boundaries, creating bonds that remain alive long after players leave the court. Whether wearing the blue and white of Kentucky or the colors of another university, Trey Mitchell will continue to be remembered as a player who always brought energy, skill, and passion to the sport. I want to hear your thoughts. Comment?